I might put glasses just to look a little more sophisticated.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
nice
Now I'm
glasses.
intelligent.
That's right. Before you were just stupid Bulgarian.
And now I'm
Sorry. That's twice now. That's twice today, dude.
well, you can't reject the truth.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
It's fine.
Dude, what did I say? Oh, I called you a douche in your Discord server today.
Yeah. It
You
was
were like,
actually
you were
like
like,
50.
I'm getting so many compliments, and then I was like, well, I think you're a douche. Now it's bounced out.
Yeah, it's a weird day. It's I actually I started telling you this, but we saved it for a podcast. I had really amazing conversation like I don't know 1 hour, 2 hours ago. Basically, as you know, but for the rest that don't know, I'm holding my first ever webinar in which I'm talking about basically building a drum cover video from the ground up, from song learning, whatever, to editing, shooting, recording, posting, everything. So only one dude showed up, only one attendant, and I decided, well, might as well do this not as a presentation or as a webinar. We might as well do it just a regular video call. So we're just the both of us, so we can talk freely and converse. It turns out, well, I knew this before the call. The attendee was Mari, who I talked about in our previous podcast with Toby. And this, for just for a refresher, this is the guy who sent me an email some months back, and he's a huge fan of mine. So we get into this conversation, and he's actually Canadian from Quebec, French Canadian or something. I don't know. Uh, we don't have this kind of stuff here, so I don't know if it's French Canadian or Canadian French, whatever. And he is actually 50 something years old, and he's a drummer, and he's coming from a blues and rock and roll background. And recently, at 50 years of age, he got into metalcore, and he decided to start exploring metalcore. And he found your channel first, and from your channel, from your connected
Related.
yeah, related channels, he found me. So he really digs what I'm doing. He really enjoys it, and we had the most amazing conversation because he showed me, just like I did, and I'm gonna do it again, just like I showed you this screen where focus already, where you can see, I've got your time zone, so I know where to text you, where to call you, and what time is it with you right now, and whatever. He did the same thing with me, and I was just, I was so dumbfounded because and he told me that he's inspired, and he said that he's actually nervous about us talking, and so I didn't record the call just because I wanted him to feel more comfortable and you know not be so camera shy and stuff
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
And basically, because I told him how we met, me and you, and how the things went, and how I was fangirling, and I still am to some extent. And basically, what happened was, it turns out that he's looking up to me the same way that I was and still am looking up to you. And it's
Oh
oddly,
God, why? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, keep going.
yeah, well, it's strange because I never thought that I would, you know influence somebody to the extent that you have influenced me. and we talked a lot more about playing and motivation, and he thinks of creating a channel of his own, and we thought about some ideas that he can use his age as his leverage, and since he's a good swing and rock and roll and I don't know, jazz player, but he wants to learn double bass and metalcore. So I proposed, why not create a channel and start making videos and show the people the process, show the people the process of you becoming a metalcore drummer over the span of a year or two or three or five or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that takes. And each cover will be a harder and harder song for you, and people will be able to track down your whole progress, and you'll be able to send a message that it's never too late, it's never, it's for everybody, everything is possible. And it was just like we had this 2 hour, 2 hour and a half conversation, and it was amazing. It's oddly satisfying and oddly, I don't know, uplifting to have this type of conversation. I feel like, if you recall the I don't know if it was a beanbag reference, with when we and when Tyler talked. I felt that I passed this beanbag over to the next seat behind me, which is
Oh
awesome.
yeah, I remember that. That's cool,
Yeah,
dude.
it was great.
That's
And
sick.
he joined the Discord, and you actually greeted him.
I feel as though like that's basically all life. I feel it as though that's what life is. Like life is just like it just comes down to like I think you can see it on any level. It just comes down to like the more that you can do to oh you're echoing. You probably want to pull your
Yeah, I'm gonna go to headphones.
yeah. I feel as though it's like all life really is at any level. And if you simplify it, like, don't take my word for it, try it out. If you simplify it down to this, you'll always get like great results. So at any level, if you just make what you're doing, the focus of it be helping someone somehow, or like trying to, um, trying to, trying to affect, like change people's lives,
Hmm.
like no matter what where you are, what you're doing, like even if you work on a small team of like 10 people in a warehouse or something, and like if you go out of your way to help a couple people there, like seriously, um like you'll just find everything will open up for you and really for them too. It's kind of like that. It's like it seems like if you want to be successful, the real way to measure it is just by how many lives you can touch. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's it. Because if you touch a lot of lives, everything else is possible, and everything else just comes. Like when I was younger, I thought success was like by how nice of a car I had in the driveway, or like how many video game consoles I owned, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like every kid starts off with some stupid shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I have 6 skateboards. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's success. I remember when I was younger, like in my neighborhood, kids would like try and top each other by how many TVs their parents owned. My house has 2 TVs. Well, my house has 3 TVs, and like that's success,
Oh
whatever. Right?
my.
That's just like the start of the illusion. But
Yeah.
that's all bullshit. It really comes down to any of that. If you want, comes about based on the proportion in which you change people's lives. So like if that's what you want, and I don't think there's like, life is a balancing act. So having some materialistic desires is not a bad thing. You definitely should aspire to have like a decent house, or if you want a nice car, get a nice car. If you want, nice drum set, if you want like a
Hmm.
cool TV for the wall, like within reason, don't fall into gluttony, but you know some materialism is just part of it, of course. And if that's what you're going for, well then the only way in which that will come and last is if you are the type of person in which you are affecting people's lives every day. And I think that like anybody listening to this who either doesn't have anything at all or is on the other end of the spectrum where they have a lot can probably look around and like it probably comes down to one or the other, you know. Like if you are without anything, well, how many lives have you really affected? Are you kind of just like working on yourself for the time being, you know, whatever? And
Yeah.
then on the other side of the spectrum, same thing. If you have a lot to give and you have been giving a lot, well, odds are that you're like you have everything you need and more, you know. And like yes, perspective based, you always have everything you need and more. It'll never be too much. Like yeah, you might want and there might be desires, but as far as need goes, most people are pretty set with whatever they need at the current level in which they're at, they can get access to, at least now in 2021. I'm just speaking generals. I know there's going to be somebody in the comment section, yeah, well, this guy, whatever the fuck, just speaking generally,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then past that, there's something even within that that I held on to for a long time. And it's actually what helped me make myself into what I was. And I gave this advice to somebody recently and it changed his life. At least he told me that. He said that. I don't know if it did.
Might
Hopefully
have been me.
it was not you. It was actually a guy who knows about me and follows my content, but he lives local to me. So like he's actually
Hmm.
close, which is cool. But anyways, I gave him the advice, and I didn't even know I was giving him advice. It was one of those like I just kind of said something, and it clicked in his head, and he was like,
It,
"Holy fuck!" And he
it
came
was
back to me
just a
months later.
broad talk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just one of those. But what I told him was, well, maybe you need to try being selfish for a while, because he
Mm.
was going on about something along the lines of can't seem to do anything for himself. I was like, well, maybe you need to start being
Oh,
a little bit more
I know. You told
selfish.
me about this guy.
Okay, yeah, but let me keep going just for the sake of the
Hmm.
pod. So I was like, why don't you take some time and be selfish as fuck for a while? So that's the other end of the spectrum, right? Is like, well, sorry, let's go. I shouldn't have said that. Let's go back to my spectrum, which is, you know, you're either the type of person who's doing nothing for anybody, and your environment it represents that, or you're the type of person who's doing everything for everybody, and your environment represents that. You know, you can be
Yeah.
that guy who can hold that weight, who can help those people, who can push and sustain, right? You can be that, and that to me is success. But talking from the one end of the spectrum, it leads to the other. That's important. You know, like if you're at home and you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself like, okay, well, I need to go out and figure out how the fuck I can give away all my money so it'll come back to me or whatever. Like you go to the extreme. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that either. You know, you can't just give. You don't have anything to give. You got to mine. You know, you have to
Yeah.
take the time to like develop. So you got to become selfish for a time before you can be selfless. I used to say that a lot when I was younger because there's people in my life who'd be like, man, all you fucking do is drum. Like all you fucking do is sit inside and play your fucking like whatever that kind of like, bro, come on, come hang out, whatever, or like whatever it is, right? Like
Yeah.
this, that, trying to pull from my time, trying to pull from me. No, like I need that dollar. Sorry, like I need that whatever. I need that tank of gas. Like I can't,
Hmm.
I can't because if I do, I won't have the time, and then I can't be me. And if I can't develop me, then I can't eventually be there for anybody else. You know. So it's like if you're at one end of the spectrum and you have nothing to give, and you're thinking to yourself, well, how do I give back if I don't even have anything? Well, develop something to give, whatever it is. You know, literally whatever it is. If it's a skill, it's a skill. If it's influence, it's influence. If it's so on and so forth. Start small, stay focused, one step at a time, stay in the moment, and develop something. And take years, take 5 fucking years, take 10 years. I mean, depending on where you are, you might be at the finish line already and not even realize. But develop something,
Mm.
because once you develop something, then you have something to give. And if you, I think, because it worked out for me that way, I think that I spent a lot of years alone in a basement, developing myself, worrying about me, taking care of me as much as I could, fighting my own battles, so that eventually I could be something to inspire some other people and be like, come check out my drum videos. You might have a good time, might enjoy it, whatever it is. Come check out my reaction videos. Might think the music I listen to is cool, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And it's all scalable. It's just where whatever. So yeah, develop yourself, and then once you develop yourself into something, or like it doesn't have to be you. You could build something else.
Hmm.
Do it, and then you can give back. And then when you start giving back, then the other end of the spectrum opens up. The proportion in which you give back and you change lives by, and it doesn't have to be physically giving things, but just giving energy. The
Yeah.
proportion in which you do that by is the proportion in which you can do whatever you want. Like you want to go on trips, you want to have a ton of money, you want to whatever it is. You know, I mean, even a lot of those things though, you find are kind of hollow, and that the point really just always comes back to you find yourself in the service of others. So that's at least what I've found. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that, dude.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And I was just about to say that it doesn't have to be financial aspect. You can help people in such a big variety of ways. But you already said it. And the other thing that I wanted to add is that uh, influencing people and you know changing the world and changing people's lives and stuff like that, these are, let's be honest, they're very cheesy lines, very such a big buzzwords. And I feel like some people don't realize and don't really know how actually it's done. Because when you tell most people, well, I want to influence people's lives, or well, I want to change people's lives, and at the very best they will be skeptical. You might get a laugh out of them or something. But the reality is you don't change people's lives for, hopefully for the better, by being the next Justin Bieber, or whatever. It doesn't work that way, at least not with people like us. The way you change people's lives is with every private conversation you're having, with every advice that you're giving. And in this regard, me and you, we've talked so many times. And um, in this sense, you have changed my life so many times.
Mm.
And these are talks and discussions that nobody else knows about. And they have the biggest impact. These little talks, when somebody comes and says, hey man, something's wrong, or hey man, I'm stuck, um, I want to ask you something. And then you go into this discussion and you connect, you bond. And the other person leaves the conversation. And you know base case scenario, you both leave the conversation better people, with bigger motivation, um, better understanding, better worldview, new ideas, whatever it is. And yeah, this is the way it's done. It's not by being super famous and people crying over your lyrics. It might be the case, but it's rarely the case. And you don't have to be, you don't have to be a musician, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be anything. You don't have to be a public figure of some sort. You could be just a regular plumber, or a guy on the street, and just talking with somebody who seems to be depressed. Or you don't know. You never actually know the impact that you're having on people with simple stuff like this, and with simple talks. And you never know what, a small talk on a Wednesday for you might mean a paradigm shift for somebody else. So yeah, my point is, I don't know what my point is. Just be on the lookout for when you can give to people, and do it with the best of intentions, and do it intentionally.
Yeah. So to take what you're saying a step further, that's 100% what I was describing. Like you nailed it. So what's the actual of that? Well, to to take that and like kind of mold that back into what I was talking about a moment ago about developing yourself out first so that you can be there for somebody else. That's literally what I mean is that, you know, for you, I've stepped into a lot of situations with you and you've been fucking losing it. You know, like
True.
rightfully so. Some of the shit you've gone through has been like, damn. And in those positions, I can be that in which you need because I've gone through it. And I went
Yeah.
through it because I churned through my own shit at a high pace, at a high rate, because I stay focused. You know, well, I like to think I
Mm.
did at least. Not that I mean, I'm talking and I'm saying things as like I'm saying things along timelines. Don't worry about any of that shit. The point is that you know, develop yourself out, and then you can go through a bunch of shit yourself, and it's not gonna be easy. Nothing is. Nothing worth doing ever is in life.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be rewarding in the end because when you get through it all, homies like you, for me, are gonna step into your life and they're gonna ask, like, yo, for real, how? And you can be like, oh, here, this, boom,
Yeah.
done. And then they apply it and it works, you know. And yeah, there'll be a lot of like for me, there's been a like I would say 80% ask the questions, but don't do anything with it. But the 20 that matter, you know, you feel, you see, they come back, you know, and then it weeds itself out real quick. And then those ones you focus on, you apply your attention and you apply
Yeah.
your energy to, and then you be grateful because odds are the fact that you're being burdened with people who need you means that you can be a burden on somebody else, and then you keep the chain going because that's the case with me is like I literally had a conversation with an individual yesterday who said to me at the end of the conversation, holy shit, dude, you like put me back together. I was like, bro, that's really good to hear. You want to know something really cool? He's like, why? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm like, 2 days ago, a homie put me back together, and I think he did that so that I could put you back together today. And he was like, whoa. And I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, you know? It's like
Yeah.
if you need somebody, then be there for somebody else. Don't go fucking asking for shit you didn't earn. Be there for somebody else.
True.
Go out of your way. If you are desperate right now, you need help right now, and you're fucking in pieces yourself right now. Don't go looking for help. Ask yourself, how can you help someone else? And then
Be
your
the
help will
help.
show up. Be the help. And then your help will show up real quick after, I would say. In my personal experience, that would be my advice.
That's straight out of Wayne Dyer.
Is it? Is that some Wayne Dyer
Yeah.
shit? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Dude had a
Um,
heart attack and he talks about how peaceful he is.
no, he had a leukemia.
Oh, he had leukemia? I thought he got
Yeah.
over that. He beat that like 3 times.
I don't
Whatever.
know. I haven't finished the book
I'm
yet.
only kidding. I like read all of his books. All like 40 something of them. I read them. So
All of 40?
no, I read a lot. I read like at least 15 of them.
Oh,
I got a fuck ton. I got a whole collection of his stuff. Yeah.
damn.
He was like the very start for me, dude. Like very, very young.
Yeah.
Like I was like probably 10 years old and I was reading that shit because there was a lot of it in my house.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the note that you said that there are a lot of people who come asking questions and then never apply it, it actually happens to me sometimes. I mean, with people coming to me. And recently, I think it was last week, and honestly, I got a little upset. I never said anything to the individual, but I got upset deep in myself because it's it's so disappointing when you see that and people coming to you and let's say this particular person and you know they start asking questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm answering, giving it the answers. And right after they receive their answers, they begin explaining far and wide why they cannot do this. And it's like, so the conversation went something like this. How do you learn songs? I'm explaining how I'm learning songs. Oh, that's nice, thank you. Well, I don't have a double bass pedal. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna play metal, you might want to get one, but for this particular song that you're asking me, you don't need. If you're good with one foot, you don't need two pedals. I'm bad with one foot, so I'm using double bass pedal. And he was like, yeah, well, I don't have enough time to play. And I'm thinking like, dude, what am I supposed to tell you? What am I supposed to give you? Like, come and play for you? And for every I don't know, I'm the type of person where who if he wants something and if he decides he's gonna do something, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm gonna think a thousand ways, a thousand reasons why something must happen and how it will happen. And even if I don't know how, I will persist until it does. And I get so worked up when I speak with people, especially musicians, especially younger people aspiring to become better. And the conversation just transforms into this wine fest where it's oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't have time, I don't have enough money, I can't buy this, I whatever excuse you can think of. And at some point I'm like, okay, so I answered all of your questions, I gave you workarounds, I gave you ways you can do it, and you're still telling me you can't, and you're still trying to convince me that you're not able to. So what the fuck is the point of this conversation? What do you want me to do? And it's just so, I don't know, so draining and such a downer vibe that I hate having these conversations.
Does this happen to you a lot? You seem like so intense about it.
Well, not a lot. It's happened like 2 or 3 times,
This
but
must have happened recently for you to like think about it and bring it up.
yeah, it
It
happened
did.
like last week or something.
True. Yeah, but all
And
that's just the pretend, dude. None of that's real.
what do you mean?
Well, that's just pretend. It's just fake, you know? Like there's like reality and then there's everything else. All the fucking bullshit people make up and talk about and say, you know. But that's not reality. That's not real, you know. Like I don't have time to do this. Okay, make time. I can't. Well,
Yeah,
now you're just pretending that you can't do something. So you're pretending you're faking it. You're just faking. Like that's
yeah,
not
and that
real. You don't get anywhere pretending you're anything. Pretending you're not something, pretending you're something. Like that's just pretend. Stop pretending, you know? Just fake
yeah,
it.
yeah. In
Yeah.
that sense, that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's such a contrast, to the conversation I was talking about in the beginning, because I felt like in my conversation with Marty, the guy from before that, every single word we both said, no, not just me, because it was a dialogue, hit home, and we were just talking, and information was flowing back and forth, and I felt like what I have to give as information, as knowledge, as some kind of, I don't know, something positive, every single word hit home and landed exactly where it should have. Whereas, the other guy, it was just hitting a wall. And he was the one that
Yeah, but why
contacted me.
engage, you know? Like once you get to the first wall, don't try and walk through it.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Right? Like if some motherfucker's gonna play pretend in front of me later, you know?
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, all kinds of people.
Right.
But yeah, to uh, actually, I saw a statistic or something, and monthly we have around 30 or 40 people listening to us,
Oh,
which is
really?
nice. Yeah,
People actually listen to this shit?
people
What
actually
up?
listen to this shit.
No
What's
way.
up? What's up, people?
What's up, people
Uh,
listening?
yeah. So to these 15,
Yo,
20, 30
let me
people.
cut you off. Let me cut you off.
Yeah,
I
cut me
was
off.
talking to a guy recently, and I said to him, "Yo, do you listen to podcasts? I got a great podcast. You got to check out. It'll really. I know it'll resonate with you. Whatever, whatever." He goes, "I don't really listen to podcasts. Just Under the Shell." And I was like, "No."
This is us, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, "Really? You gotta expand your horizons, my friend. That's no good." I was like, "You
Yeah.
better be listening to more than that."
This is when somebody tells me, you're the best drummer I know. And I'm like, man, you
You
gotta
don't know
learn
any
about
drummers,
drummers.
dog. You
Yeah.
got nobody, dude.
You got nothing, man.
Here, let me give you 6 Googles that are going to be much better than me. Like,
Yeah. You
I can
need
do
to
that.
start watching shit.
Yeah, if I'm the best, my comment sections like that. People be like, "You're number one drummer on YouTube." I'm like, "You clearly don't go on YouTube." Like, what are you talking about? Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, it's well, you got that thing going for you, the blonde hair and stuff. Your
yeah,
comment
people think
section
I'm
is always
cute.
full of fangirls and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Absolutely, dude. It's the surf bod plus the hair. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm like the
my comment
fucking I'm like an Instagram bitch, but on YouTube.
yeah, kinda.
I had one of my agents said that to me once. He was like, "Look, Wyatt, all you gotta do is stay keeping cute and keep playing the drums." I was like, "Okay, boss." I was
This
like,
is
"So
the
that's what it is.
moneymaker.
Like, people just want to watch me because they think I'm cute. Is that what you're saying, Tony?" And he was like, "Yeah, more or less."
You're like that Korean girl. What was her
Yeah, I'm
name?
like the guy version of that.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
And
about. I know what
and
you're talking
and
about.
recently
With the shorts like
with the
inside of
fucking
her pelvis.
lingerie, yeah.
Yeah, she posted lingerie now. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. She
So
doesn't even
like
have to play. I mean,
no,
you
no,
can
no.
just sit there by the drums and you're still
Yeah.
getting the millions of
That's it.
subs.
That's it. I'm that girl. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not as cute as her. That's why I don't get a million views a video. But I'm that girl for sure.
You have some videos with million views. So
Yeah, one or two. Those were when I could drum and I was actually good.
back in the days.
Back in the days. Back in the days of
Yo, I
old.
was watching your version of the river because I don't know. I just
Because my
decided to
version was
watch it.
way better than yours. Poser. You see my comment?
Look, I might not be the most intelligent, nor the most athletic, nor the best drummer. That's it.
Same. I'm with you
So,
on that. I'm with you on all three.
so I watched your first off. You're fucking bulky there.
You think
It's
so? Dude, honestly, bro, keep this in mind. The house that was shot in is the current one I'm living in. Uh, even at that point, that was a couple months. That was about a year ago. It was a couple months after moving into this house. Even at that point, I hadn't been lifting for a year because of COVID, and I'm still like I'm 16 months no lifting because of COVID.
well, that means that right now you're fucking skinny bitch because you're
Yeah,
looking big then, and imagine before that.
bro. Before that, it was like a problem. It was like I had to eat like 10 meals a day. I was eating like steak every fucking day, dude. I was blowing more money on food than anything else in my budget. Yeah, just to
Yeah,
keep like my body weight and like I was starving around the clock, dog. I eat like 2 meals a day now. I can fast for like 3 or 4 days at a time and not even notice. Back then, I was like, if back then a fast was like going a couple hours without eating. It
you're
was
crazy,
gross,
man.
dude. It was gross. I go
And
hard. I go fucking hard. Everything I do is too hard. Like Lindsay says, I have the too much gene. I do. I do. I believe that. Like
yeah,
I think it's been something that's definitely helped me a little bit, but in a lot of ways, I think it's been something that's hindered me because I constantly am breaking myself.
it's definitely hindering
Yeah, for
because
sure. Like it can be cool when you're trying to grind, but like life is not just about grinding. So like you get stuck in grinding and then you wonder why yourself like why am I depressed? Well, I've been in a studio for fucking 16 hours, 3 days straight, no sunlight. Like that's going to be a problem, you know? Whatever fuck, you know?
yeah,
I'm that
yeah,
guy.
true.
I have to do it. Whatever it is, if I get it, like if I get a taste in my mouth and I'm like, ooh, that tastes good. I got to find out how far we can push it. If this is good, all of it must be great. Let's fucking go. You know.
Yeah, for a lot of stuff, I'm the same guy, and I tend to go to the extremes sometimes.
Yeah,
And
you just jacked yourself up trying to climb a tree.
what?
Didn't you just rip something in your shoulder trying to do a pull up on a tree or something?
No, it was I was trying to do a muscle up on a regular bar,
Oh, okay.
but I did it with no warm up, and the sole reason for that is I was trying to impress my girlfriend.
True.
Guess what? I was, you know,
Bro, I've
I
been with
just made.
Lindsay for 4.5 years. I don't ever do the likes that. I'm not that crazy.
Well, it's not about her. It's about me lacking stuff in my head.
Yeah, for real.
Um,
100%. I'm glad you got there on your own.
so yeah, not only that I didn't make myself look good, I injured myself and I look like a jackass. And yeah, I'm still recovering. And but this is the lesser evil. The bigger evil is that, and I told you this like 1 month ago. I decided I would go rollerblading for the first time in like 20 years of
Mhm.
not doing it, and I fell on my wrist, and a month later, I went to a doctor. He used whatever device it is, echograph or something, and it turns out I have what's the word in English when it's not completely broken, but it's cracked. You
Oh,
know,
a hairline fracture instead of a
yeah,
regular
something
fracture.
like this. So
Yeah.
I have a hairline fracture, whatever it is, in my wrist, and yeah, I'm currently healing that with push-ups.
Bro, you gotta, for real. Everybody at home, listen to me, for real. If you are a musician and you're trying to like make it for real, whether it be sitting at the
You
drum
need
set.
your hands.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, let's get past obvious. No, okay, hold up. Yes, you need your hands. This kind of builds on that. If you're a musician, you're trying to sing, I don't give a shit. You're trying to play guitar, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you weigh. I don't care what type of body type you think you have or you don't have. However you decide to play your own pretend, I don't care. The one thing that all y'all should be doing every single day, more than anything else, to maintain yourself, is stretching.
That's true.
Yeah, dude. There's a here MGK actually. MGK has one video on men's health where he takes through his warm up, and he starts like majority of his workout each day. Sorry, where he takes men's health through his workout. Majority of his workout each day is just stretching. It's just
Yeah,
like if you're a musician, you're going to be on stage, you're going to be playing an instrument, you're going to be singing. You need flexibility. Like there's this saying it goes I'm talking to you, Dimitar. You need to get some flexibility, bro, cuz like
man,
I can muscle up for
have
days. I'm flexible. I can
you have no idea how right you are.
Yeah, dude, you got to do yoga. I do yoga every day. I practice that shit. First thing I bet, yoga every day. Yeah, you got it cuz there's this saying that goes um you're not as old as the number of years you've lived, you're as old as how flexible you are. Like flexibility is everything.
This means I'm 94.
Yeah, you're an old Bulgarian man. I know.
That's true,
I say it all the time.
and it hit home.
Just a grumpy old Bulgarian.
Yeah, beating beating the crap out of his drums.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yo, for real,
get
some
flexible. Everybody needs to be flexible. Especially look, if you're listening to this podcast because you're a drummer and you like to talk to you like to whatever, you gotta get the flexibility in the wrists. So look at that. You see that? Look at that. See me pull my thumb? Look at that. Holy shit. That's right, dude.
right now for me it's hard to even write with my hand, but
That's because you're not flexible, dude. You
that's
wouldn't even have injured
because
it
I
if you were
fell on my
flexible.
fucking wrist. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And it's something that my girlfriend constantly is nagging me for because she's working out as well and she's flexible as fuck. And I'm the total opposite. I'm like, you know, if if she's the equivalent of an elastic band. You know, the bands that you're working out with.
Yeah, yeah,
I am the hardwood table at the end of
yeah,
the
definitely.
end of the room, and yeah, I need to get to
Bro,
stretching more.
just take like look, after let this podcast be the inspiration for you, and it will be for the 40 other people who listen to this. Maybe two of them will follow through, whatever it is. So do this for real, all y'all at home. Let it be more than two of the 40. Go and start doing yoga. Like literally, if you work out at home, stop working out. Just stop doing it. Just take like 2 weeks, no working out. Replace all your workouts with yoga, and you will notice such a difference in your mind, body health, everything, sleep patterns, everything. I promise. Especially if you're already a big beefy guy and you've never stretched before, you got to do it. It'll
And
blow
for
you away.
those who are not big beefy guys, start pumping.
No, don't start pumping. Just start with the flexibility. You don't need to pump. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And yeah, I don't know who I was speaking to the other day, because I said, you know, I'm smashing my drums, and somebody asked me, I don't remember who, um, am I not afraid, you know, for new symbols and stuff like this? And this is in total different topic of what we're talking right now, but um, I just wanted to make this clear for everybody who doesn't know. I am I look like I'm hitting them hard, but actually the stick is so flimsy in my hand. It's so I'm barely holding on to it so it doesn't fall out of my hand. That, you know, it's more like showmanship. I don't hit that hard
Well,
because
that's another.
if I hit as hard as I do, I'll be changing symbols every two covers.
I hit that hard. I was doing that actually.
You do?
I mean, I used to. Yeah, I used to go through symbols like I went through 3 China symbols recording Bow Down.
Really?
Yeah, watch that cover back and check out how hard I'm punishing those fucking symbols.
But you don't have to.
I know it cost me a fortune, dude. I'm done doing that.
I mean, you can
Look,
still look like you're killing him, but
I don't lift anymore. And I just focus on flexibility, and I just focus like rubber band now. Like my arm is a whip now instead of just a punishing hammer. So like when I play, like it's more of that mindset. I don't crack cymbals anymore. I don't even remember the last time I cracked a cymbal. I did crack one cymbal that I had for a couple of years when I was doing my MGK prep when I was going to go play for him, but it didn't work out, kind of thing. And that was the only cymbal I've cracked in a long time. But that was one of my TRX cymbals, dude. So that'll just take you back how far.
yeah,
Yeah,
you still have him.
yeah. I don't play them anymore. I got that Zildjian K Suite set, and it basically just replaced all my cymbals.
Yeah, you told me they're pretty good.
They're amazing. They're the nicest cymbals I've ever played. I absolutely love them to death. Absolutely love them to death. Yeah. I mean, listen to the last. Yo, okay. Pro tip for all my drummer friends out there: go right now. Okay, all y'all. I swear to God. Let me pull up the one sec before we go any further. Let me pull this up so I can get the sponsorship. Go right now to Moises.app/Wyatt and get Moises right fucking now. Right
What is
fucking now.
Moises?
Moises is an app where um where you can plug any song into the app. All you got to do is type in the link. So go on YouTube, pick a song, any
Mm-hmm.
song in the world on YouTube, take the YouTube link and go into Moises and go import YouTube link. Press the import. It's gonna take the song into the app, and once you get it into the app, it's gonna separate the song into
Oh yeah,
vocals.
I know that. Yeah, does it
Vocals,
work?
bro. My last 2 covers, they're up on the channel right now. Go listen to them. The drums have been completely muted out by the app. The rest of the song is still there. The only drums you're hearing in those last 2 videos are my drums. I didn't have stems. I just used Moises. There's no trace of Travis Barker's drums on both of those MGK songs. It's just my set.
How is that working? I mean, is it cutting frequencies?
I don't know. I have a video
Because
on it
it's
on my
it's a
channel.
single MP3 file.
I have a video on it on my channel. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, if I could tell you how it works, then they wouldn't be the only one with this technology. But
Yeah.
they're the only one. And I've tried a bunch of these bullshit apps over the years because there's a bunch that didn't work. Moises is the one. So let me say that. MOISES dot app slash WYATT. Okay. Moises dot app slash Wyatt. Because why not get the shameless plug? I did do a series of sponsored videos, but I'm not sponsored by them anymore. But I'm still using. I mean, I was sponsored, so technically, whatever. I'm still using the app, and my last two covers, as well as my next. Well, pretty much going forward, I'm going to use it. But I've already tracked another 4, and all of them used it with the app. So all of them, no drums. You'd swear it's just my drums. You'd swear I had multi-track stems. It's so powerful. So it's so powerful that I paid for premium. I was like, this is perfect. I'm getting this. So I'm paying the monthly subscription and I'm using it.
How much is it?
I don't know, a couple of dollars. It's whatever. You should totally do it. You'll be able to remove drums. You can do anything though. That's the craziest part. Like I'm eventually going to do vocal and guitar covers down the line. And when I start doing stuff like that, like so if I want to do a vocal cover, well, I can just mute out the vocals and just put my voice over top of all the original
Yeah.
instrumental, you know? It's going to save me so much time. I don't have to build it from the ground up and find guys to play or whatever, or figure out how to play it myself. So,
Nice.
yeah, definitely. Dimitar for real. Next cover, Moises.
Dude, if I start using that, I'm gonna be punching out covers every single day because I'll be able to play whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, but that's not cool, dude. You got to
I
learn it to push
know.
yourself because otherwise you get this fill. Right on snare, left on rack, right on floor, kick,
Kick.
Right on snare, left on rack, right on floor, kick. Every
Yeah.
fucking fill. Okay, I watched your covers for a long time. I'm glad that you're actually learning the fills now.
You're mean today.
Yeah, whatever. I had a beer. You were like, we're drinking. I was like, okay, sounds good. You're going to get pissed off, Wyatt.
I regret this decision.
Oh, yeah. I did a stream. I was at the beach on Friday. I was at the beach like all day drinking beers. I had like 5 or 6 beers because we were there all day, right? Just hanging out. And I got home with 0 shits. And we fired up stream that night. And I was just roasting chat. Lindsay had to pull me back a couple points. She's like, yo, you got to chill out. I was so fucking funny. When I get some alcohol in me, I think I got some jokes. I'm not usually funny, but when I get some alcohol in me, I can definitely make fun of something. You know? So I was doing that a bit. Anyways, it's not important.
If you're below 18 and you're listening to us, try to be funny without alcohol first.
I can't be funny. I never learned how to anything.
You're an old man. I'm talking to the kids.
That's right. All right. I think this was a great hour. I don't even know if it was an hour, but
It's
enjoyed
48. You sure?
yeah, 40 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good to call it. Thanks to the 40 people who listen to our podcast. Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And stay tuned for our next episode where we need to have a guest of some
Yeah,
kind.
we're going to have to find a good guest. Who should we have?
We do?
I don't know. I'm into guests. Who should we have next?
I don't know.
Comment
think
below
about it.
who we should ask to guest on the show.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube. If you're on any of the other platforms, then log on to YouTube and comment below.
Yo, by the way, this is a good time because we've actually done this, I don't know, months ago, but I don't know, every time I'm forgetting to say it. Under the Show podcast has a Patreon. And
Oh, we do?
yeah, we do. You know
Sick.
this.
Cool.
You're never listening to me. So we have a Patreon, and also we've got an email address. Which email address is under the show podcast at gmail.com. And You can send us questions there. And if you join our Patreon, here's the deal. If you join our Patreon, you will be able to first ask questions directly. Second, participate in some of the podcasts as audience directly, live, as we're recording it. And you'll be able to ask questions live, via the platform and participate. And you'll be able to also suggest guests, suggest topics that you want us to cover. So I will include the links to the Patreon and to everything else um, in YouTube in the description of Spotify and everything else. So if you'd like to get further into Under the Shell, you can do it now. You can do it for the past 2 months, but I'm my memory is so bad that I forget to say this every time.
Perfect. There you go, guys. So head up those things.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I was piling on. Hope it helped.
Stopping.